Hello, I'm Joe Skorupa, and I'm the Editorial Director of RIS News, and I'm here at the NRF Big Show 2016 edition with Rick Chavie, who is the CEO of EnterWorks, and Rick is one of the sharpest guys in retail. And Rick, there's a big issue that retailers have with managing their media. There are so many media channels, so many media pieces, so many touch points. How are they going to solve that problem?
Well, there's a couple aspects of that they have to solve. So it's not just one problem. It's a problem of both internally as well as externally. So the internal challenge is you really need to work with your marketing people, your supply chain people, and your merchants, because they all have different content needs. And so in order to do that effectively, you've got to start thinking all the way back, though, to the manufacturer and the brand, because they produce a certain set of content, and you've got to be able to collaborate and exchange that information. And frankly, a lot of people still exchange it with spreadsheets, but fortunately we've got more of an automated process with portals and syndication that a manufacturer can do. But that's the biggest challenge, is you've got to orchestrate internally and harmonize the information across all those areas. You've also got to do it upstream and even downstream now with your consumers of bringing in user-generated content.
Now, that's a good way to understand the problem, but I assume you're not talking about doing all of that manually. What are the tools that it takes to make that happen?
So a product information management system is the core of how you work with both the external partners as well as managing your internal set of assets. And you have to think about it in terms of both physical and digital content. So a lot of people, as you think about e-commerce platforms, they've gone ahead and plugged those in or plugged in mobile platforms. And there's a lot of rich data and content and images and all of that you have to manage. But there still is 90% of sales are still done in the physical store. So you need your brochures, your signage, digital or otherwise, also to be in that same platform. And so the challenge then is, okay, you need a common platform for both the product information and then also putting it contextually with your overall master data management when you look at customer, location, brand, or in some cases like with vendor, our customer, artist, a domain. So you have to bring all that together and then let everybody have their own view of content so you can get this single view of content across enterprise and within enterprise.
Now, when you get it right, I assume you're solving some of that complexity, but what other benefits can retailers accrue by putting the tools to work, getting this right, and having the best possible media presentation throughout all their channels?
So one of the ways people have thought about MDM and PIM, this whole data management in the past, it's been very much a supply chain focus. So it's your logistics, it's how many cartons fit on a pallet, how do I exchange that information, get it into my ERP for basic information for POS. But the world has changed. It's much more dynamic, so you can't wait 3 months to update your content. It's dynamic like today. You might even incorporate user content. And so the challenge now is to make it a much more rich experience, bringing all these assets together in a more of a demand chain focus. And we call that, for the end-to-end, we call that a content value chain. And so you're really trying to drive now not just the logistics costs and those kind of things and get that all right, but you're driving sales and margin lift to make these differentiated experiences come to life in a real omni-channel point of view. And so a lot of people tend to think about, okay, there's the order management, there's all these other things you have to do in customer service to bring omni-channel together, but it all starts with the product side, and it really starts with the PIM and all of that by having content capable, and you can get that faster, frankly, than you can some of these other things, which can be very challenging in an operation.
Well, that's clearly a hot burner issue that's moving to the forefront for a lot of retailers, and it's a pleasure to get your thoughts on that, Rick. Have a great NRF.
Joe, always a pleasure. Thank you.